Hey everybody, I'm Josh and welcome to another episode of Just Saying. Thank you. We have a great month of episodes for you all month long, and I'll tell you what the new theme is here in just a minute. But first, let's answer the question, what is Josh drinking? And on the show today, good old Mountain Dew. Refreshing. Can't get it off the screen. There we go. So as I said, we have a great month of shows for you all month long. And why? Because it's my birthday month. That's right. All of my favorite things all month long, from my favorite segments on the show to some of my favorite pictures, past and present. And I do feel a throwback edition coming. Just saying. Just saying. It's one of my favorite episodes to do. Anyway, so yeah, we have a great month of episodes for you, which means there's 4 episodes until my 41st birthday show. 4 episodes left until you potentially get to see Producer Man's face, which I'll explain here in a little bit. And 4 episodes until we have to say goodbye to Mr. Producer Man. So, busy month. Let's get it started. Everybody sit back, relax. It's time for the rundown. I do have good news. That's right. I get to add another ticket to the bucket. That's right, everybody. We have a new subscriber. For those of you who do not know what's going on, every time of year that I do this, every time I do this, my Christmas season that I end with the Christmas time, I do this little fun thing. For every new subscriber I get this season and all season long, I will donate $1 up to $50 to Toys for Tots, which would put me at 99 subscribers. If I get 51 or more subscribers by the end of this season, I will double it and donate $100 to Toys for Tots, because I will have reached my goal of 100 subscribers. So please, literally, if not for me, please click that subscribe button. Let's help the less fortunate have a better Christmas this year. I hope you guys had a great week. My week started off and ended kind of, but the middle was okay. So Tuesday, I get to work, I clock in, my phone rings, it's my sister, I pick it up, I answer, she's like, I have some bad news. After 14 years, we had to put my dad's dog down. This is Molly. For some reason, I always called her Molly Sue, but this is Molly. And she was 14. She had really bad arthritis, and even before my mom passed, which was just a little over a year ago, Molly would be just laying there and fall over in pain. She would just be standing there and fall over in pain. She was on constant pain medication. And the day that my dad decided to put her down, my sister called me and said because there's steps that go out everywhere. Every door has steps. And she just couldn't go up and down the steps, even to go outside to go to the bathroom. And I just want to share a little cute story for you. When I lived with my parents, and anytime I visited my parents, really, unless I was visiting or staying at my parents' house, Molly would sleep with my dad. But anytime I was there, I don't want to say she thought of me more of the alpha. I don't know. I hope not. But she would sleep with me. When I lived there, she would go upstairs. She would be upstairs with my mom, get some bedtime treats, and then come downstairs, and her and I would watch movies and fall asleep. And she would sleep there until my dad woke up to go to work, and he called her up there, and then she'd stay up there. But this happened for probably about 6 months before this place opened up. And so the first night that I was gone, my parents are in bed, and they're like, all of a sudden we hear her whining. And so they go check on her, and she was at the bottom of the stairs waiting for me to open the door for her to come into bed. So I know that she's up there with my mom. I I've told one person this story since we put her down. The night that we put her down, well, every night since my mom died, when I go outside for the last time to take her out, my dog out, she's laying right here, and I don't want to wake her up because then she's going to be annoying me. Anyway, when I take her out, I'll always, and I'm not, disclaimer, I'm not saying my mom was a stoner whatsoever. As far as I know, she has never smoked weed. She always said that if it ever became legal, she would, and it is legal here in Illinois, but I don't know if she ever did. Let's just start off by saying that.
Sorry, I'm having trouble connecting to the internet. It looks like a router issue, so try restarting it. Unplug the router, wait
Alexa,
10 seconds, then plug it back in.
Sorry, I have no idea what's going on. We have no internet connection right now, and that just randomly started talking. Anyway, where was I? Oh, and so every time I take my dog out for the last time before we go to bed, I'll do a hitter to my mom. I'll do a hitter and I'll say, Mom, that was for you. I love you and I miss you every minute of every day. And then we'll come back inside. And then this night, like, she kept staring off that way, which is the direction of my dad's house. Probably 2-3 blocks away, but still in that direction. And so I kind of, like, she was just staring, so I kind of turn around and I look over there. And I was just thinking after I did that hitter and said what I said, I was thinking to myself, I wonder if my mom was there to greet Molly when Molly left her life. And just as I finished thinking that, I turn around to see what she's staring at, and there's a shooting star that goes across the sky. So, to me, that means they're there together. My mom's giving her rides in the car. She's running around on the farm. Molly is running around on the farm, not my mom. My mom's on the beach. But I know they're together, and I know they're happy. So, Molly, you will be greatly missed. I love you. We had great 14 years together. Somewhere I have a picture of me holding her as a puppy. I'm going to try and find it. But yeah, Molly, I love you. I miss you. Enjoy being up there with Mom again. And I will say this real quick. After my mom passed, and I didn't realize it until my sister Mary Lou said something, but Mary Lou came up to, like, we were talking about something, and she's like, does Molly kiss you? And since Mom died, and I said, honestly, now that you say that, no. She's like, she kisses me. She doesn't kiss Dad. She doesn't kiss Betty Sue. She only kisses Mary Lou. And that we think it's because Mary Lou has the same hair color as my mom, same more or less figure as my mom, and we think it kind of reminds her of my mom. So even after my sister had said that, I went over to my dad's house and I was trying to get her to give me kisses, and she wouldn't. She just kept turning her head. So I think she just kind of was missing my mom a lot and just kind of got depressed and gave up. But anyway, Molly, you will be greatly missed. I love you. My dad swears he's not getting another dog, but we'll see about that. Anyway, it is time to pick the challenge. For those of you that don't know what's going on, here we go. So, I failed the U.S. Women's National Soccer Team Challenge against Producer Man. But Producer Man is giving you one more chance to see his face before he bows out of the show. And here's how it works. There are little quirks, he says, that I do throughout the shows that I don't realize I'm doing. I do them subconsciously. So he wrote 5 of them down. Last week I couldn't drink during the show, except and I just want to say this because I watched it back, and it does look like I set it up. It was not set up at all. I thought when it dawned on me, because I was getting ready to wrap the show up, and I was saying my last line, and then it dawned on me that I hadn't drank, and that the show was over, and that I beat the challenge. And so I thought we had finished the show. That's when I said, oh, I haven't drank, and I took a drink. I thought we were done filming the show. Apparently we were not. I totally did not set that up. I'm sorry. But we get another chance this week, and we're going to pick the challenge right here, right now. Here's how it works. I am going to roll this 6-sided dice. If I roll a number that's already been picked, like number 1, or I roll number 6, I will randomly choose an envelope. If it lands on 2, 3, 4, or 5, that's what envelope I choose. Here we go. Number 5. Number 5. And I will open it right after the news. According to sources, a tree fell on Governor DeSantis' mansion in Tallahassee. He was not home, but his wife Casey, as well as his children, were home. None of them were injured. Casey posted online that her 100-year-old oak tree fell as due to Hurricane Idalia. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but yeah, no one was injured, thank goodness. But Governor DeSantis, maybe Mother Nature is trying to tell you to quit banning things. Anyway. Here's another story. This one's kind of getting scary. Senator McConnell, I don't like the man, but Senator McConnell had another incident where he was talking to reporters and just froze. This happened last month during a press conference. He did the press conference just this week where it happened again. A reporter asked him a question and he just kind of stood there. One of his aides tried to snap him out of it, and he even, according to sources, ignored her. According to his spokesperson, it looked like he was staring into space or was frozen. A spokesperson did say Leader McConnell felt momentarily lightheaded, and that's why he paused. He, quote unquote, feels fine and will be, quote, consulting his physician prior to his next event. And with my medical knowledge, I know that there are some types of strokes as well as some types of seizures that will cause people just to kind of freeze and then pick up where they left off. Like they didn't know what even happened. And it kind of sounds like maybe that's what's going on. He really needs to get checked out. But I wish you the best, and I'm keeping you in my thoughts, but I still don't like you, just to be clear. Burger King apparently is not getting it their way. A class action lawsuit for an undisclosed amount has been filed against Burger King and has been in the works since 2022. It alleges that Burger King is falsely advertising a better, bigger, more delicious burger than the one you get. Duh! That's how advertisements work. They're not going to show you a sloppy burger and entice you to come in. Duh. But apparently, in this lawsuit, the judge has already dismissed 2 actions in the lawsuit, which is the consumer protection law claim, and in the lawsuit, they cannot use commercials from television or online in their lawsuit as evidence. They can, however, use menu pictures, in-store menu pictures, to show their false claim, or to show their claim that it's false. They're saying that they are breaching your contract by offering you this and you're getting not what you offer, not what they offered. Negligent misrepresentation and to the owners, unjust enrichment. So apparently the customers really want it their way. Hey, if you are going to advertise, have it your way, and you're not getting it your way, that's false advertisement. But anyway, on to a funnier, grosser story. This is 25-year-old British man named Liam Brown. He pled guilty in a court in the UK for, and I quote, sexual penetration with a living animal and causing unnecessary suffering to a protected animal. That's right, he was caught red-handed. Having sex with a cow. I'm not making this up. This is a true story. And he had to plead guilty because they have video evidence. Apparently, the farmers had kind of thought that their cows were being, quote, abused, end quote. So they set up cameras and alarms, and they caught this guy, Liam Brown, having sex with one of their cows. Not to mention the DNA he left behind. That's right. According to the farmers, Mr. Brown used to work for the family with the cows. So, okay. Having sex with a cow is not what you're going to look forward to in prison, buddy. I don't know what he ended up, what his punishment is, but I just know that he pled guilty. This guy, this is Russian daredevil, and I'm sorry if I mispronounced the name, Evgeny Shaboratrev. He escaped death. I know that's his occupation, but seriously, he escaped death. He was doing a stunt where the plan was to jump from the taller building to the taller building roof to the lower building roof, and as you can see, it didn't work. He hit the side of the building and pummeled 50 feet to the ground. This next picture is what his car looked like after it hit the ground. However, he came out almost unscathed with a bloody leg. He also later posted a picture of an x-ray with no broken bones. Wow. That's all I can say. You escaped death, more or less. Anyway, open it now, or do we do my sketch now? Sketch? Okay. So, yeah. Everybody, this is the time of year that really starts getting annoying to me. And it really starts to get my goat. And what gets my goat this week, and I work in the retail industry right now, and I'm not knocking my own store. Please don't think that. I am knocking every single retail store in the entire universe. Can we finish one holiday before we move on to the next one? We are still not even to the month of Halloween. We just finished setting up our Halloween aisle. And we're getting things for Christmas. And just got our planogram for what our Christmas aisle is going to be. Can we finish or even get to Halloween before we start setting up the next holiday? And this is one of the reasons why I feel that Christmas has become too commercialized. I'm sorry. I just feel that it's ridiculous that we are setting and selling stuff for Christmas in September. Still 4 months away. And that is what really gets my goat. It's time to open the envelope and see what this week's challenge is. I cannot say here's the next one when flipping to different pictures. That is going to be hard. I do know I say that a lot. That's going to be hard. All right, people. Wish me luck. I have 30 pictures to show you, and I can't say that line in 30 pictures. So, with that being said, one of the first things I love doing on this show is showing you cute little animal pictures, but the funniest ones are pictures when their owners are telling the world what they did. That's right. It's Pet Shaming edition of Possibly Adorable. All right, here we go. I have this propped up there because I know not to say it. Anyway, here we go. Number one. I knock over the neighbor kids, hump them. I should be a registered sex offender. I don't know if I would have gone that far on the sign, but anyway. Number two. My daddy saved a baby bird, and when he left, I ate it. Oh, Lord. Here's the next one. I ate my mom's shoe for breakfast, and I enjoyed every moment. Hey. The top one says, I got into the garbage. Wait, hold on. I'm on the next one. No? What did I do here? Oh, I clicked the wrong one. Sorry. Okay, here we go. Here's the next one. Oh, I just did it! I'm sorry, guys. Get that picture off the screen. I'm sorry. My computer's not working. I am frustrated. It just totally slipped. It's something that just slips out. I don't realize I'm saying it. I swear. Anyway. Back to this one here is the sign. I got into the garbage and ate chicken jalapeno poppers that were too hot for even my mom or dad. I will receive my punishment later. Either that or your owners will when they have to clean it up. Here's the next one. The top says, I eat cat poop. The bottom one says, so do I. And now that I broke the challenge, here's the next one. Because apparently that's all I know how to say. If it's raining, I refuse to go out to go to the bathroom. I prefer to poop on the kitchen floor instead. She doesn't like to go out in the rain either, but she will hold it. She will hold it if it's raining out. She doesn't go. I mean, I don't know. If she has to go that bad, she will finally go out and deal with it. But otherwise, she will not go out, even if it's sprinkling. Even if it's sprinkling. Here's the next one. I steal dirty socks. The smellier, the better. Here's the next one. I am Bad Olive. I jumped into Bill's truck and ate a week's worth of doggy treats, my treats, taco treats, all the treats. Well, if you're going to leave them accessible, I can't blame the dog. Now, these two dogs must really get into trouble because it's the same one from a couple of pictures ago. The top one says, I let strangers pet me and then try to bite them. The bottom one says, I bark out of nowhere for no reason because I can. Oops, I thought I clicked it. And finally, the one on the left says, my human calls me Hugo. The one on the right says, my human calls me Huxley. Get down. Huxley, drop it. Huxley, I'm serious. Stop. Huxley, be gentle. Huxley! I have to say, that's kind of cute. That's kind of a cute picture. Now, we all know I love my family for the most part. And I've told you guys before that every time my family gets together, whether it's a holiday, 2 days in a row, we see each other, we have to take pictures because we've changed so much in 24 hours. However, after my mom passed, I don't care. I like to give my sister crap about it just because I can. And it's a tradition. But I kind of like the pictures now. But we don't have to take them back-to-back days. Anyway, it's time to look at some hilarious, I really mean hilarious, family photo fails in this week's edition of Funny Family Photos.
Drop it.
All I have to say about this first one is that they like their Second Amendment rights here in America. Like, what would make you think that would be okay as your family picture? But back then, maybe that was the cool thing to do. I don't know. Now, here's the next one. And I thought at first that it was set up. because it looks like, and the dog is sitting there just perfectly for a change. But they're getting ready to take a picture, and luckily the photographer, they either had it on a timer or the photographer thought it was hilarious, and the baby starts peeing. Look at the dad's face. The mom is just laughing, and the dad is like, oh my gosh, what do I do? And the kid's just sleeping and peeing. Well, that's why you don't take your diaper off your baby when you're trying to take pictures. Just a thought. Here's the next one, and I have no idea why the dad fell in love with this mom. Can you? Good thing the kid's shoulder's right there. Perfect height. Here's the next one. Now, I may not be the sharpest knife in the drawer, the brightest bulb in the box. Sometimes I'm not playing with full deck, or I'm a few bricks short of a full load. However, I think I can spot the dummy in the picture. It's the cat. I got it. And that is because I'm a brilliant genius. I stayed at a Holiday Inn Express last night. I did, and I stayed in my own bedroom. Anyway, here's the next one. I hate you for that challenge, by the way. Oh, what a cute little family. Take a look at the boy on the left in front of the mom. He's grabbing his junk. And you know that family probably thought that was the best of them all. Why did the photographer say something? Why did the photographer take the picture? Because clearly with those looks and clothing, it wasn't recent. Now, I love these kind of pictures. I love them. However, make sure you rehearse it a couple times, or you're strong enough to hold a toddler. Oy vey. Here's the next one. I love that the mom has freaked out, but the dad thinks it's hilarious. But hey, again, put a diaper on your child. I don't understand how that's legal. I'm being forced to look at a little baby's junk. Here's the next one. They always say you can't take pictures with kids because they can't sit still. And yet, they're having another kid. And the dad is still looking at the camera, ready for the picture to be taken. Again, I love these kind of pictures, but make sure you know that you can at least lift the child and not throw him across the beach. Not to mention, you don't have to do that picture. But it seems like that's everybody's favorite family picture on the beach. And finally, that's right, this is not only a lot of kids, but a lot of infants. Especially the one in front. Someone ain't happy. But I see 1, 2, 3, 4 infants. Parents must be like jackrabbits. Now, when I was a kid growing up, we had different toys that we liked to play with. And with it being my birthday month, I thought it would be fun to show you what kind of toys I liked. Well, I didn't like personally. But what kind of toys were my generation would be asking for their birthdays. It's time to throw back the time machine and go back to my day. Now, this first one was kind of cool. I had a rip-off version of it, but it was... the technology of it was a huge deal for back then. It was laser tag, your own home laser tag. And the cool part was, if your friends had one and you had one, you could sync them and be able to still play the same game with them. And yeah, it was a lot of fun. You would set a timer and you would run around and try to just shoot each other. It was like, I mean, because the big thing back then at that time was laser tag. Like, you would kind of like escape rooms are now, but laser tag. But yeah, it was fun. It was cool if you got to go to a big laser tag thing, but this was kind of something for, well, boys back in that time to do. So this next one was considered a girl toy. And it's called a sky dancer. And basically all it is you hold on to that base that looks like the ocean. And each of them, I think we call them pixies now, not fairies, because that's a derogatory statement now. But I think they called them pixies. But anyway, it would be like the name of, or she would have her power be whatever the base was. So she was the water one, so she had water power. So you would hold onto the base, pull a cord, and she'd go flying. And that was it. And then you'd have to chase after her, and her wings would open up, and she'd twirl down. And that was that. Here's the next one. Now, this one is something I personally had. It's a Stretch Armstrong. That's right, you heard me. Stretch Armstrong. He weighed 5,000 pounds to begin with, because he's filled with a bunch of goo. And basically, all you do is you stretch him as long as you can, and he retracts back to that position. However, the more you did it, the more you stretched him, the fully it wouldn't get back together. And don't bite them. Not saying this actually happened to me. I cannot confirm nor deny this. But don't bite them, because you will pop a hole in them. And the stuff doesn't taste good. I don't know what I was doing. Why I had it in my mouth. That sounds really bad now. Anyway, this was not what you think. It was Play-Doh. So you would basically put a whole tub of Play-Doh in this little person, put him in the chair, and crank the little crank, and it would push the Play-Doh through the holes in the top of the person and make their hair. And then you got to cut and style their hair. It was basically the Play-Doh beauty salon. It took all the Play-Doh. It was a pain in the butt to clean out every time, because you had to clean each individual hole, and you had like 2 minutes of fun while the Play-Doh was oozing out. These were cool. This was cool technology back in the day. They're called hit clips. Hit clips. Basically, it's a little disc about the size of now a thumb drive, maybe a little bigger. And you would put it in this little radio that was a keychain and would play like 1 minute of a popular song. That's it. It was the iPod before the iPod was invented. And you didn't have to carry a bunch of books of CDs around. You could just clip all these to your little radio. I don't know. I really wanted one, but I never got one. And I'm glad. This is called Rock'em Sock'em Robots. And basically, you and a friend would grab the little controllers and mash down on the buttons until the springs inside broke. But in the midst of all doing this, the little robots will punch each other, and the first one to knock the other team's head off wins. That was Rock'em Sock'em Robots. And once you played it for a while, you got to know where to hit, and so it became kind of no fun. This next one was called Bop It. It was kind of like, I can't think of, it would tell you, well, okay, so one end you twist, one end you pull, and then where it says Bop It on it, you hit it. And it would say, twist it, and so you twist the twist one, and you would just see how long you could go before you made a mistake. And it would try to throw you off. I don't know. Now, these things were called Poochies. Poochies. cheese. Basically, they were the robotic dogs, and they just kind of followed you around. They had their eyes lit up with hearts if they loved you, or question marks if they didn't understand you, and you could train them to sit, fetch the bone. It was basically the parents get to test to see if their kids will deserve a dog. But you never got one because you don't need one. You got the robot dog now. I grew up with real dogs, though. Here's the next one. Now, you've heard of the game Simon. The 4 colors, and you have to follow the pattern. This was Super Simon. It added a whole 2 more buttons. And so you really had to be good with it. I'm colorblind. I just looked for where the light was. And finally, this is called Betty Spaghetti. And basically, her hair looked like spaghetti. You could twist her arms into different positions, pop off her body, and change her clothes. And that was basically it. You guys have to realize we weren't able to just sit around and watch the internet all the time. We didn't have the internet. Anyway. Well, that will do it for week 1 of my favorite things. Next week, be sure to join me as we take a look at week 2 of some of my favorite things. If you think there's something funny I should see and share on the show, be sure to send it to me. There are my socials, my email address, as well as my Twitter account, or X, I guess. I don't know what we're calling it now. But anyway, also be sure to ring the bell to get notifications anytime I post an episode, and subscribe. Also, comment below, but definitely subscribe. Let's help the less fortunate have a better Christmas this year and make me donate more money to Toys for Tots. I hope you have had fun looking back at some of the hot toys back in the day, as well as some funny animals being bad. Because I had fun, and it's some of my favorite things that we're continuing again next week. So please be safe, stay healthy, stop the hate, and until next week, everybody, that's all I'm saying.